Live and direct from my phone to your ears. Welcome to my voice notes. Hello everybody and greetings from sunny Los Angeles. Well, what a week it's been. We'll release season 3 of Are We On Air? With the wonderful Arman and Leah. I hope that you've listened to that episode. It was truly not just fun, but what an honor to be with that fantastic, legendary woman. And of course the music that speaks for itself. A big shout out to Forbes and WWD, aka Women's Wear Daily, for the beautiful features and shout outs to season 3 and to me. What an honor. How beautiful. Pretty dope. But I would say another great announcement, news this past week, was that Ibiza is opening its clubs starting in April. I mean, this will be a very long season, which I think we're all gonna pretty much enjoy, hopefully. And it kind of reminded me of last summer where I was spending a couple of months on the island. The clubs were closed, but restaurants and bars and so forth and shops, everything was open. And I was there to work on a couple of projects and got to spend a lot of time with my dear friend, the legendary DJ that is Sven Väth. And Sven and I had a lovely summer together. And all shout out here and to the wonderful Sylvia. And the clubs were closed. There was not much dancing going on, but I was fortunate enough. And I remember one beautiful afternoon after lunch, we went back to Sven's villa and listened to his upcoming new album. And I'm always very flattered and honored when artist friends want to play me their new or show me their latest works, being it a painting or an album or anything really. And just to hear this kind of sound, this electronic sound, the techno, the low ends on a beautiful sound system with a beautiful view over Ibiza and delicious wines and champagne and with a fun little group. You know, it was just a small little listening session, not a party, but it just elevated all of us. I mean, for me, it was just like a beautiful experience and moment to have that again after such a long time without any of it. So yeah, we got to listen to the whole album, and it was just a magical experience. And one track in particular, which I think Sven already released as a single a couple of months ago, was called Feiern, which is the German word for basically partying, La Fête. It's a beautiful track that we also played a lot actually at the kiosk in Berlin during our pop-up during gallery weekend, and yeah, we had some fun moments with that, and of course everybody screaming the word Feiern was definitely a highlight. So I highly recommend it, and the album is now dropping, I believe, in February, and it's called Catharsis. And yeah, a little shout out here to Sven. I can't wait to have the album in my hands, and you guys should kind of check it out. And hopefully we'll get Sven on the show as well, if we can schedule a time in his busy schedule. Well, up next, another highlight, of course, this week was the last show at Louis Vuitton, the last show from Virgil Abloh and his last Louis show. I don't know if you got the chance to check it out, to see it. It was like a theatrical piece, really. And yeah, I think there was a certain melancholy and happiness in the air which I think was quite visible. But for me, definitely one highlight was the collaboration between Tyler, the creator, and Gustavo Dudamel, the head conductor at the Los Angeles Phil. And also, of course, a shout out to our friend Benji B, who was part of season 2, for putting it all together. And you know, I'm a big fan bringing different worlds together and creating something new out of it. And seeing the collab between Tyler and Gustavo, I thought was pretty major and pretty beautiful. And I think you can feel it and see it and hear it as well when you see the show. Hopefully we'll get both of them on the show eventually as well. Shout out to Gustavo and Tyler, working on that. And yeah, and of course a shout out to Virgil, who unfortunately, as we all know, passed a couple of weeks, I guess months now. And what a way to end his tenure at Louis V. Well, another thing here, being in Los Angeles and, you know, being in a car city and culture, I was having a little coffee at one of my favorite spots here in Los Feliz, at Little Dom's. You know, it has a little street cafe culture on that strip, and I really enjoy just hanging out there and just having my morning coffees. And I was bumping into people. Yeah, and the other day I was just sitting there, and that's the beauty of Shazam. I literally pull it out sometimes, like in the Westerns, I pull out the guns. There was a car driving by, and I think maybe I had like 1 or 2 seconds. And in those 2 seconds, I just heard something faint in the background, like a little sound, a little beat, and I was immediately intrigued. Pull out my Shazam, and I couldn't believe it that I actually picked it up because the car was already gone. And it was this track that you're gonna hear now.
La busca un lado de mí, con finta de malandrín voy patrullando al estilo sicario, fumando weed, mi humildad y mi palabra es lo que vale. Andamos tirando vergo de jale, bien al alba cuando navego las calles, tapiñado en el Camaro, calmado pero con madres. Y mira qué ironía, aquí andamos todavía. Desde que cumplí los 15 yo ya tenía felonías. Un chamaco acelerado sin miedo a la pinche calle, ya se saben los detalles. Yo siempre he sido un desmadre sin familia. Aquellos tiempos loco andaba bien ondeado, escuchaba los consejos, me salía bien envergado. La muerte en la cárcel fue lo que dijo el carnal, pero aquí estoy pa' contarlo, sigue firme el pinche Sam. Gracias a que el viejón las movidas me enseñó, me puse verga en el jale y me rifé con la misión. Recibí un chingo de feria y me gustó esa sensación.
Which is called El Liricario by El Sam. And of course you have this strong Mexican heritage and influence here in California. And I love when I manage to pick up something like this randomly and start to dig deeper, and just use this as an indicator to start digging deeper. I mean, being in a record crate or something like this. And it's a great way to also learn what other people are listening to and kind of to discover new stuff that, you know, might be not part of my world, in more of my general sphere. And yeah, these are great tools, or apps like SoundHound. And you know, I always say, just, you know, you need to walk through life with an open mind and open ears to really be able to take it all in, and you yourself be the filter, the curator, you know. But the more you take in, the more knowledge you have, the more experience you have, the wider your horizon is, and then you can make judgments and decisions. But I think it's important to take it all in, and there's a dope track and a dope beat, and actually kind of reminded me of some of these like TikToks. I'm not on TikTok, but of course you see it on Instagram. There was a great New York Times article a couple of months ago, or maybe a year now by now, about what a big business it became to have like music on TikTok and on Insta stories, really, and how labels are kind of focusing on this now to discover or push new artists on TikTok, hopefully with the chance of going viral. Because as you know, there's certain tracks that just reoccurring over and over and over again, and that's just money in the pocket right there. So that was quite interesting. Anyway, it's a new week, it's a new episode, part of season 3, and I'm very happy and excited to have my dear friend, the superstar photographer that is Mert Alas. Mert and I have a lot of things in common, one of it being music. Mert, of course, you might know under Mert and Marcus, the top fashion photographer duo of the past 20-30 years, who shot basically everybody and anybody. There's no point of telling you who, because I'm sure you will hear it all in the episodes, or if you just give it a quick Google, you will know. But yeah, another shared common love is gin, and Mert and his partner Tasso launched a new gin called 71, I think about a year ago, and that was also the time when they reached out to me asking if I would be interested in joining them and helping curating the sound, creating the sound identity for this gin. And of course I said yes. What a beautiful opportunity. And yeah, here we are. And we spent a couple of events together, pop-ups. I don't know if you check out his Instagram or 71's Gin's Instagram, you'll see all these fabulous parties and people that they do. I wouldn't even call it a party. It's a soiree of fabulous people in beautiful places. The last one that I was part of was in Ibiza, actually, at their home, and it was quite magical. We talked about everything, and of course his Turkish heritage, which of course I'm super interested in, and I love Turkish music. And we talked about that, but also how he got to meet Björk in the early 90s. It's a little fun little story, but I'll let you to it because I'm sure you're going to listen to the episode dropping on Friday. Lastly, as you might know, Are We On Air is not just a one-man show. In fact, we have a wonderful team worldwide that on a weekly basis spends hours and hours and love and passion and effort into creating this magic that is Are We On Air for you guys. As you might have also noticed, we are for nearly 2 years ad and sponsor free, and that is on purpose. On that note, we are moving our weekly voice notes, where we share or I share with you my weekly highlights in culture, in music, in people and travel and discoveries onto our Patreon page, patreon.com/areweonair. And any little sponsorship and support from you guys is highly appreciated to not only keep the lights on, but to also support the wonderful team behind me. Besides the voice notes, we will also add on a regular basis some specialty playlists done by me, curated for you guys. Be it a dinner playlist or weekly highlights, whatever it is, send us our request. I'm happy to share it with you. The more, the merrier. On that note, lots of love. I love you all. Radical optimism. Here we are, 2022. Peace.